If you're anything like me, you probably spend a lot of time thinking, and one question that'll come up again and again is, what exactly is morality? You don't need to spend a lot of time thinking about this if you don't want to, as there are plenty of good answers already floating around. If you live in the Western world, you might already be familiar with these. But let's say you want to consider your own answers. Here's what I'm thinking. At its base, it comes down to your interactions with others. There is no morality in a vacuum. A man in a wilderness is an animal, existing for his own survival. His actions are neither good nor bad, as they don't affect anyone. By its nature, morality needs at least one other person to be moral or amoral towards. But that brings in the issue of perspective, which we call relativism, not to be confused with relativity. What appears good to one person might seem very evil to another. Good or evil could be reduced to merely your perspective. But does that mean there's no such thing as actual good and evil? No, that certainly doesn't ring true. It feels like there is such a thing as right and wrong, but can it be proven logically? I think it can. I started out with a massive list of things that could be considered good or evil, and then started removing elements that could be either based on your perspective. A great example is love and hate. Love seems inherently good, but can be very easily used by bad people to terrible ends. Likewise, hate seems inherently evil, but there are many villains who are stopped due to this unpleasant emotion and the actions it motivated. After months of thought, I came up with a list of 12 constants, and in doing so, found a fascinating geometry between them. A geometry that can only be expressed in a coin. This coin, the Philosopher coin. The most obvious element are the two sides of the coin, which in this case are the positive and negative, or you could say good and evil. These are things that cause harm versus things that make life better. Each side is both the same and yet polar opposites of one another. The next element you're likely to notice are the arrows. The inward arrows are losses incurred, while the outward arrows are what is gained. Good and evil come with their own advantages and disadvantages, with each side shaping the world in which you want to live. One of the many key elements to notice is how the losses from one side of the coin feed into the gains on the other. For example, let's look at humility versus arrogance. Both are opposite versions of how you express yourself to others. Humility is a burden on the good side, but arrogance is a gain on the evil. It's similar with isolation versus kinship. Isolation is a burden on the evil side, yet kinship is a gain. The opposite side mirrors the other, but always with opposite gains and losses. The interconnected geometry even extends to what flanks each and every arrow. For example, if you look at jealousy, you'll see it's flanked by selfishness and arrogance. To be jealous, you need to believe that you are worth more than your current means. You also need to think of your needs and not those of others. As you can see, selfishness and arrogance feeds jealousy. The Philosopher's coin contains many connections that are worth exploring, and I would love to hear other people's thoughts on it. I think it has the most utility as a tool for self-reflection. Its shape also makes me wonder if there might not be a connection in here with other symbols of the past. If you would like a physical copy of this coin, I have some very nice ones available, linked in the description. But this item is licensed under Creative Commons if anyone wishes to copy, modify, or sell their own version. Hopefully this coin will prove useful to you in your own contemplations. Thank you for your time.